So I'm working on a 93 Chevy K3500 turbo diesel 6.5 liter, and I pulled the drive shaft out because I'm still getting some excess wobble. I had replaced the clutch, put the transmission back in, and I'm not sure if I put the drive shaft in the direction it's supposed to go, but I'm also not sure that it was in the direction it was needing to be in the first place when I got the truck. So I'm about to flip the drive shaft. What else I was thinking about was I got these bushings for the drive shaft bearing, and I needed to figure out what to do about stiffening them up a little bit because I knew this was extra squishy. So I took this out and was planning on putting gray silicone in here to let it harden up and stiffen this whole piece. So if you end up running into you can only find this, I would suggest highly that you do that. Also, this bracket doesn't have a, lower plate that presses onto the bushing just like this one does. This actually was damaged. It was done by the drive shaft in the condition it was in when I got the truck, which is why this is happening. So I suggest if you have this bracket, you keep this bracket. This is the bracket and bushing that comes from the bearing kit that you get from Napa for the 40mm bearing. This is that's what size bearing you need for the K3500 four-wheel drive dually with the 6.5. It's a 40mm, so bypasses all of that research. Now this right here, you can see I'm squeezing it hard, and I got pretty good grip, and it's popping my tendon just to do that. As well, it has this collar. That's the original factory style. The collar, I do believe, is supposed to be on the motor side of the bearing, but for ease of install, after I've already pressed a bearing on, I'm just going to put it on with it facing the rear. I've already pre-drilled holes for these holes to match up to fit that way, because that's the way I had to do it on the reinstall after the transmission fix. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Something about the length of the drive shaft for this transfer case that's on here, I guess moved this towards the rear. So that's also something I'm battling, as well as, well, not battling but fixed, is drilled new holes to allow for this to sit on the rear of the bearing instead of the front. So also, when you put this in, notice this piece here, when you go to tighten it down, it's going to clamp this bushing into the frame of this, so it's going to put more pressure on that bushing in a center force. So that's going to help us alleviate some of that drive line frequency that will arise from all gearing and parts moving and so on. So hopefully that'll cut some of that cross beaming. And this is $8 at Napa, just the bushing. This, I think I paid like $50 for this bracket and a bearing, 40mm bearing. And this is not that great of a setup. I'm going back with this. If you can only get that and that's what's already on your truck or whatever, just go ahead, fill this in with some good gray silicone and let it dry for a day or two, maybe 3 days, just to make sure it's cured, and then put it back on. And it doesn't matter, it's unidirectional. I hope this will help you with any of your driveline issues. If you're having problems with cross beaming, the sound that it makes over the vibration of the movement of these parts, then this is definitely something you need to look at. This is the reason why I ended up accomplishing this project. So I hope this helps. Happy day.